विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। 32 कर्ता भोक्ते वादी शोकजातं प्रमुञ्चति कृतं कृत्यं प्रापणीयं प्राप्तमित्येव तुष्यति। कूटस्थ आत्मा is no doubt aparoksha, but due to ignorance appears to be paroksha. Again, due to ignorance, Atma appears as the object of ajnana vishaya. When knowledge is gained, it appears as a jnana vishaya. So, one and the same Atma appears as paroksha vishaya, aparoksha vishaya, jnana vishaya and ajnana vishaya. So, how is it possible for that? The illustration of Shamaha Shaha was given. In the context, the state of ajnana, ignorance. Avati, that is avarana, vikshepa, two types of knowledge, paroksha jnana and aparoksha jnana, tripti and shokaparam. So these are the 7 aspects shown with respect to the illustration, dhammaha, nashtaha. Same thing was applied to Darshanda illustrated in the case of Atma. How these 7 stages are applicable here. So whatever that was shown with respect to Darshanda, that is the true nature of oneself, Kutastha, those 7 stages are now being concluded. Ajnanamavritistabhad vikshepasya parokshadhi aparokshamati shoka mokshasrupirnirangusha. First line as it is, Ajnanam avriti tadva vikshepasya parokshadhi aparokshamati shokamosha nirankusha triptihi. Nirankusha triptihi. Ajnanam, ignorance of oneself. I don't know Kutastha. Avati, because I don't know, therefore it is not there. Nabhati is not there. Avarana, willing. Tadvat, the same manner. Vikshepa. So we have seen what is Vikshepa there. It belongs to that is Dehadvayuta Chidabhasa. Because of which all these wrong notions are created. Vikshepa. Parokshadhihi, paroksha jnana. Then parokshamati, paroksha jnana. Finally, shoka moha. That is shokasya moksha apagamanam. Dispelling or termination of sorrow, born of ignorance that I am, my swarupa is not known. And nirankusha trapihi, the limitless contentment because one discovers oneself to nothing but another swarupa. Now, these are the 7 stages. The question comes now, whom do they belong? Do they belong to Kutastha Atma or Chidabhasa? That is the question. So, if 7 stages now in mind, ignorance, everything, then Vikshepa is all wrong wishes here, sorrows all come there. Paroksha jnana, aparoksha jnana and shokapagama, finally nirankusha tripti. Question is now, do these belong to Atma, Kutastha Atma or Chidabhasa? Suppose, if they belong to Kutastha Atma, what is now? You can't say simply no. Come on, tell me why they should not belong to Kutastha Atma. These 7 avasthas, 7 stages, if they belong to Kutastha Atma, what will happen? Tell me. If you say simply no, it is not going to work. Huh? What do you mean by Kutastha? Unchanging. Kutastha is that one who doesn't change all the time, same without modification changes. And 7 stages changes or not. One stage gone, other stage gone, third one, fourth one, fifth one, sixth one, or together one or maybe together, etc. So Kutastha Atma being asanga, not connected to anything, those states can be attributed to Kutastha Atma. They cannot belong to Kutastha Atma. They should belong to who? Chidabhasa only. Saptavastha ima santi Chidabhasasya tasvimau बन्धमोक्षौ स्थितौ तत्र तिस्रो बन्धकृता स्मृताः इमाः सप्तावस्थाः चिदाभासस्य सन्ति। इमाः सप्तावस्थाः चिदाभासस्य सन्ति तासु इमौ बन्धमोक्षौ स्थितौ। तासु इमौ बन्धमोक्षौ स्थितौ तत्र तिस्रः बन्धकृतः स्मृताः। तिस्रः बन्धकृतः स्मृताः। इमाः सप्तावस्थाः इमाः these सप्तावस्थाः these 7 stages whom they belong चिदाभासस्य सन्ति। They are or Chiddabhasa means they belong to Chiddabhasa. When you say they belong to Chiddabhasa, what is the other possibility of belonging to whom? Kutastha Atma. So they belong to Chiddabhasa. Emphasizes they don't belong to Kutastha. What is the ladder? That is that ascertainment. They can never belong to Kutastha Atma. They belong to Chiddabhasa only, not Kutastha. Why? Kutastha being Asanga Chaitanya. Asanga Chaitanya is not connected to anything, just as light. Light may eliminate thousands of things, good, bad, this way, that way. It is totally unaffected, unconnected to anything that it eliminates. Also, Chaitanya, the pure awareness principle, the pure knowledge principle, may make us know everything, including what we don't know, but it is totally free from, unaffected by what it makes us know. So therefore, it is Asanga, plus Atma, not have this stages, so they belong to Chiddabhasa only. So the question comes, sir, after all, what are you in here? All you are trying to make us discover is Kutastha Atma. Where have you landed in 7 stages for Dashamanashah, 7 stages for Chiddabhasa? Why all these things? Delay it. We are impatient to have Atma Jnana and you are unnecessarily bringing all these 7 stages. What is the necessity of all these 7 stages? The purpose. They have not given just without me. One thing. Either Panchadashi or Anubhuti Prakasha. You should know the method of teaching from Vidyaran Muni. We leave just like that. Actually, no more commentary is required only because we don't know many of the certain aspect that is required. Otherwise, everything is step by step he is taking into account. So the question now comes, why all these saptavastha? So it is just a waste of time. So it is not waste of time. There is a purpose. What is the purpose? This is the purpose. Tasu. Tasu means among those saptavasthasu. In those 7 avasthas, saptavasthasu. Tasu in those means in those 7 avasthas. Imau bandha mokshau sthitau. Both these can be seen there. What are those? Bandha, bondage, and moksha, liberation. After all, why you want to gain knowledge of Atma, Kutastha Atma, get freed from bondage, to gain the moksha. You should know first what is bondage, and then only you will be able to know what, you will be able to gain the liberation, moksha. So therefore, in these 7 stages that were shown in the Chiddabhasa, of course, with the help of the Dashamahanashta example, both can be traced. What can be traced? Bandha, bondage, and also moksha. The question comes, is it that in all, both bondage and moksha, in all 7 stages, both bondage and liberation aspects are there, or in only some of them it is this way. Tatra means among these 7 stages, tisraha bandhakrutaha smrutaha. These 3 bring the bondage. Tisraha means 3. We should know in the context what are those? Ajnana, avarana or avriti and vikshep. First 3 bring the bondage. That means the rest 4 either speak of liberation or means of liberation. The means that leads to liberation that they speak of. So therefore, tatra among these 7 stages, that is this stages, avasthas. So first 3, that is ajnana, avarana and vikshepa. So they speak of bondage or they reveal the bondage. Rest that describe the liberation or the means of liberation. Because this ajnana, avarana and vikshepa, they constitute the bondage, what exactly are they is further elaborated. So to make it very clear, so what is this ajnana, what is this avarana, what is this vikshepa is further elaborated. Na janamityudasena vyavaharasya karanam vichara pragabhavena yuktam ajnanamiritam. Anvaya vichara pragabhavena युक्तम उदासीन व्यवहारस्य कारणम जानामि इति ऐड अनुभूयमानम जानामि इति देन ऐड अनुभूयमानम नो नॉट जानामि इति न जानामि फर्स्ट उदासीन व्यवहारस्य टेक दिस वे उदासीन व्यवहारस्य कारणम आफ्टर उदासीन व्यवहारस्य कारणम देन न जानामि इति देन ऐड अनुभूयमानम अज्ञानम ऐड इति ईरितम अज्ञानम इति ईरितम वंस अगेन विचार प्रागभावेन युक्तम उदासीन व्यवहारस्य कारणम न जानामि इति ऐड अनुभूयमानम अज्ञानम ऐड इति ईरितम. This is what is called ajnana, ignorance of oneself, ajnana of atma, ajnana of one's true nature. So what is that? Say, vichara pragabhavena, on account of, that is, you know what is pragabhava? What prag is prior, abhava is non-existent. Prior non-existent. Actually it is Tarkika's terminology. Praga bhava, then pradhvamsa bhava. For example, a pot, before it was created, it was not there. So prior non-existent. Then it comes into existence. Pot is broken. It continues, it is no more there now. After that, pradhvamsa bhava means posterior non-existent. So that way also. So that Tarkika's terminology, we need not bother much about that. What it means is, now vichara pragabhavena, on account of the absence, prior absence of vichara, means before conducting the inquiry. That's all. Vichara pragabhavena means stage before the inquiry starts. Which inquiry? Atma tattva vichara. So that is Atma tattva vichara pragabhava saitam. Before taking to the inquiry as to what is my true nature, Atma Sarupa, before that, what is found? Yuktam, endowed, means, what does it mean? The person still has not taken to inquiry as to what is my true nature. Right? The person has not taken into account the inquiry as to what my true nature is. So that is pragabhavena, vichara pragabhavena, yuktam, then udasina vyavaharasya karanam. The cause of udasina vyavahara. What is udasina vyavahara? Udasina means indifferent. Indifferent here means abject neglect, total neglect. So, total neglect as to what is my true nature. Just ask your friend, try to inquire what is Atma Sarupa. What answer? Tum to pagal ho gaya, you want to make me pagal or what? you conduct your inquiry, I am least bothered about it. So that's what it is. So that is what is called the abject neglect, the total neglect. What are you talking of? I, etc. What a big thing is that? I, everyone knows. So what is this? So like the total neglect, udasina vyavaharasya karanam, as results in what? Na janani, I don't know Atma. So iti anubhuyamanam. We did not go anywhere. Everyone does experience. I don't know what Atma is. Ask anyone, hey, do you know what is Atma? What is the answer? I don't know. Not American, I don't know. American children, they think, yes, I don't know. So, okay, that is a different thing. So here, I really don't know. I don't know what is Atma. So therefore, and the fact, I don't know, nor do I want to know. That is implied, though not told. Okay. I don't know Atma, nor do I want to know Atma. You break your head, whatever you want to, you do with that. So I don't bother about that. So that way, he says, Na janami, I don't know. Iti anubhuyamanam. Everyone does experience that. Iti anubhuyamanam. So that is what is ajnanam iti iritam. Iritam is stored. That is said to be iritam. That is said to be the ajnana. So that is said to be the ajnana. That is said to be ajnana. That is called ajnana. Ajnanam iti iritam. Now what is ajnana? We know. So that means the cause of such behavior, which is wherein there is total neglect as to what Atma Swarupa is, and one has not at all taken to any inquiry whatsoever. And that thereby he says, I don't know what Atma is. That is what ajnana. What is avriti, veiling now, or avarana? Amargena vicharyatha nasti no bhati chetyasau viparita vyavahritihi avrite karyamishyate. Amargena cha iti asau chetyasau. Amargena cha vicharya atha asau, add there kutastha, last word first line asau, cha iti asau. Asau kutastha to be added. Nasti na u, that is no, na u bhati iti is there. Iti viparita vyavahritihi. Viparita vyavahritihi, then add ajnana krutayaha. Ajnana krutayaha avritehi karyam ishyate. Viparita vyavahritihi, add ajnana krutayaha avritehi karyam ishyate. Amargena vicharya. Atma has to be inquired into, no doubt. But there is a method of inquiry. It is not left to one's whims and fancies to inquire as to what Atma is. This is not something which can be inquired into based on reasoning. So in Kathopanishad we find na tarkena paniya matihi, naisha tarkena matirapaniya. This knowledge cannot be gained or investigated into by mere reasoning, by mere logic. Of course, reasoning we may take support of to, that is, ascertain what has been already told by Shruti, but that is not the valid pramana, that is not the valid jnana sadhana, that is not the valid means of knowledge to know what Atma Swarupa is. Because Atma is a thing which cannot be the object of mind or the intellect. Whatever that can be perceived by sense organs and can be considered by the mind and analyzed by the buddhi alone can be the object of reasoning, whereas Atma is not available for sense perception, therefore it cannot be the object of mind or intellect. And that being the case, so that is amargena vicharya. Amargena means not in the right manner. So what is the right manner? We can find in Brihadaranyaka. Tam tvaupanishadam purusham pruchhami na avedavin manute. Taittiriya Brahmana. See, a student goes to a teacher and says, Tam tu aupanishadam purusham pruchhami. O revered master, I am inquiring you, I am asking you that Aupanishada Purusha. Aupanishada Purusha means that Atma, Brahma revealed where? In the Upanishad. Upanishad alone can be the means of knowledge. And other thing, in Taittiriya Brahmana it is said, Na avedavin manute. Avedavit means na vedavit. One who has not taken to the inquiry as per the Vedas can never gain the knowledge of Atma. Because it is not an object of. So mind or intellect. So therefore, one who takes to inquiry mainly based on the reasoning, he is called as one who takes to inquiry by amarga. Amarga means na margena, not based on the right the path as shown by the Upanishad. Amargena vicharya. What will be the conclusion? What will be the conclusion? Atma is there. So see, these people talk of Atma. If you open the eyes, what you see? The world. If you close the eyes, what you see? Darkness. Where is Atma? So, if you open the eyes, what you see is what? The word of, that is Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa. If you close the eyes, what you see is only darkness and so much of agitation in the mind. Where is your Atma? That's what it is. So like such, this way they argue. So, such inquiry is not going to reveal what Atma Swarupa is. So therefore, now the point is, this fellow is not an ordinary person. Tarkika. We are rational beings, and being rational, so we have got reasoning, etc. And they will not admit their own faults or mistakes that they have not inquired properly. They will definitely come to the conclusion. What is that? Atma is not there. Right? We have inquired into. Therefore what? Nasti no bhati. Atha. Then they come to a conclusion. Atma is what? That is asau kutastaha. This kutastha Atma, nasti, is not there. And why? Therefore, na bhati, is not known. And they will say, we have inquired into, it is not there. That is what they come. Iti viparita vyavahritihi. Viparita vyavriti means it is their behavior or conclusion is contrary to what the truth is. What is the truth? Kutasatma is there or not? There. How do you say? You say Kutasatma because you are denying Kutasatma. The one who is denying himself is what? Kutastha Atma. One who says, I don't know Kutastha Atma is there, that itself is the Kutastha Atma. How Kutastha you have to discover. Therefore he says, so Viparita Vyavriti. Viparita Vyavriti means Vastu Sthiti Viruddha Yaha Vyavaharaha. Viparita Vyavriti means Vyavahara, a dealing. What type of dealing it is? Viparita means contrary to Vastu Sthiti. Vastu Sthiti Viruddha Yaha Vyavaharaha. That is what is called Viparita Vyavriti. How is it born? Ajnana krutayaha. Adhyara we have made there. Ajnana krutayaha avritehi. This that is avritehi karyam ishyate. Such vyavahara. So, without taking to the proper inquiry, coming to the conclusion that Kutastha Atma is not there, Kutastha Atma is not known, therefore Kutastha Atma is not known, such contrary behavior or contrary conclusion or dealings, they are of this avritehi karyam. So the karya effect of this avarna means avarna avriti is described in terms of its effect. From where this avriti has come? Ajnana kritayaha. The product of ignorance of oneself. If one's true nature were known, there is no room for such a avarna. So the product of ignorance. So ajnana we have seen, avriti we have seen. What is the vikshepa? Vikshepa. What is the nature of vikshepa? So that also is described in terms of its effect. Because these things cannot be directly ajnana. You can't directly describe unless you take into account its effect. So also avriti is described in terms of effect. Any power has to be described in terms of effects only. For example, electricity. How will you describe electricity? There is no method whatsoever other than describing in terms of its manifestation. Light, heat, sound, etc. Including your emitters. What are those? Magnetic effects. The deflection of the needle is nothing but the magnetic. That means, after it is calibrated, that is okay. But magnetic. Even if you are a smart person, I can show how. Such a live wire. That also is what? It is a biological effect on the cells. Don't take it burning, etc. It's a biological effect on the cells. That's why you can insulate yourself. So if, say, you can touch also at the same time, that effect is not provided you are properly, that is earthing is proper. Therefore it is there. So therefore it is a biological shock. What is shock? Shock also is a biological effect. That is why you are demonstrating in terms of a effect only. So that's how. So that will be the case. So like this, ignorance, avriti, avarana, vikshepa, they can be demonstrated only in terms of that effect. So what is vikshepa? See, vikshepa we have seen, alarm, fear, distress, all this thing. But here, how exactly, at what level do they manifest, or does it manifest? So that is being shown. Dehadvaya chidabhasa Rupo vikshepa iritaha Kartrutvadyakila shokaha Samsarakhyosya bandhakaha Dehadvaya chidabhasa rupaha vikshepaha. Add iti iritaha bandhakaha samsarakhyah bandhakaha samsarakhyah kartrutvadi akhilaha shokaha asya. Add karyam asti. Asya. Add karyam asti. So what is this chidabhasa? No, what is this vikshepa? So vikshepa is this. Chidabhasa is what is chidabhasa? Abhasa of Chaitanya. Means appearance like Chaitanya. Where is it possible? In Antakarna. But through Antakarna, where is it available? Gross and subtle body. Otherwise, this gross and subtle body of ours left to itself is nothing but inert mass. But now it appears as how? Lively and sentient. How is it? First, in Antakarna, the Chaitanya, reflection of Chaitanya, Chidabhasa is available. And that Chidabhasa, through Ahankara, permeates in the gross and the subtle body. So that is how. So that's why it says, so, Dehadvaya chidabhasa rupaha vikshepaha iti iritaha. So this is what is called as vikshepa. What is it? One who is in the form of chidabhasa, but not simply chidabhasa, endowed with dehadvaya, two bodies. What are those two bodies? Sthula deha and sukshma deha. Gross body and the subtle body. So, chidabhasa endowed with gross body and subtle body. You may say, why this gross body and subtle body is required? Why these are required? Why you want chidabhasa? Why have you ordered the bodies first? Just for nothing? Bhoga. Karma phala, bhoga. For karma phala bhoga, what is required? Gross body and subtle body, these are required. But they can't, they are inert in nature. What is required? Chidabhasa is required. Chidabhasa is incomplete and inoperative without the gross and the subtle body. And your subtle body means what? Antakarna is where in the subtle body itself. So you can't separate Chidabhasa and the bodies, etc. Without, of course, gross body can be separated. Only Santak Suksharira can be there, Chidabhasa can be there. But without the bodies, the Chidabhasa has no purpose to be served. So that being the case. So the Chidabhasa means both these bodies have to be accounted there. Dehadvaya Chidabhasa Rupaha Vikshepaha iti iritaha. That is what is called as Vikshepa. See, they keep this definition in the mind because, so generally our Vikshepa means what comes in your mind? Agitation. But here Vikshepa means the Chidabhasa endowed with the two bodies, then only what can be there? Agitation can be there. Fear, alarm, etc. possible when Chidabhasa with these two bodies are there. See, for example, in sleep, two bodies are not there, Vikshepa is not. Two bodies are not there means they are not functioning. Maybe they are in the seed form. They are not available for function. So no Vikshepa, you have no fear, no alarm, no sorrows, nothing like that. So that is how it is. So Vikshepaha iti irtaha. What is its effect now? This Vikshepa, which is nothing but the Chidabhasa endowed with this gross and subtle body. So it is Bandhakaha. Bandhaka means Bandha hetuhu. It is the cause of bondage. Bandhakaha. And what is that bondage? Called as Samsarakhyaha. Bondage means this Vikshepa is the cause of bondage called as Samsarakhyaha. And to this Vikshep Chidabhasa, called here as Vikshep Chidabhasa, endowed with two bodies, called Vikshepa, to that only entire samsara of sorrow belongs. So, to that Kartrutvadi Akhilaha Shokaha. So, the entire Shoka, sorrows of samsara, what are those? Which is available in terms of Kartrutvadi. Kartrutvadi, Adi for Bhoktrutva. All varieties of experiences. Akhilaha, Shokaha, sorrow, Asya. Asya means Kasya. Chidabhasasya. Now Chidabhasasya means not simply Chidabhasasya. What is it? Dehadvaya yuta Chidabhasasya. In other words, come on, substitute it. Another word. Vikshepasya. Vikshepasya. Of the Vikshepa. So Vikshepasya karyam asti. It is the effect of this Vikshepa. So that is Kartrutvadi Akhilaha Shokaha, which is called Samsara, which is Bandha Hetu, is the product of this Vikshepa. So now, what is Ajnana? What is Avarana or Avriti? And Vikshepa shown. These three constitute the bondage. These three constitute the bondage. Now, in stanza 34, what was told? Saptavasthaha imaha chidabhasasya santi was told. These 7 stages belong to whom? Chidabhasa. Now a doubt is there. Sir, it is not so. So it can't be. Why? Say, look, when your Chidabhasa comes into existence, what is Chidabhasa? Reflected Chaitanya, reflection of pure awareness in the Antakarana. For Antakarana to be operative, what is required already? Stula Sharira, Sukh Sharira. Come on, tell me. Ajnana and Avarana is before Stula and Sukh Sharira comes into existence or afterwards? I think you are not caught it. What was told in stanza 34? 7 avasthas belong to whom? Chidabhasa. Now here a doubt is raised. Sir, it is not possible. Why? Even Ajnana and Avarana exist even before Chidabhasa comes into existence. Chidabhasa का जन्म ही नहीं हो गया and you are at what? You are telling that Ajnana and Avarana belongs to whom? Chidabhasa. How is it ever possible? Because Chidabhasa comes into existence only after the gross and subtle bodies are born and there the reflection is cast. Of course, to cast the reflection, no much time is required. What is required is what? Simply the presence of the Antakarana. Moment the Antakarana is there means Chidabhasa is cast. Just that. Only you have to take an object in the sunlight. The moment you take in the sunlight, it is bound to get licked by the sunlight. Like that. Here also. Or you take the mirror. See, taking the mirror in the sunlight and to get the reflection of the sunlight, how much time is required? Moment it is in the sunlight, automatically what is that? Reflection of sunlight is caught, that means cast in that. So like this, that is not a thing. But Stula Sharira, gross body and subtle body should come into existence. Then only Chidabhasa will be there. But Ajnana Avarana is prior to that. How do you say that it belongs to Chidabhasa? That is the doubt. Now that is being now discussed. Ajnanamavrutischaite विक्षेपात् प्राक् प्रसिद्ध्यतः यद्यप्यथाप्यवस्थेते विक्षेपस्यैव नात्मनः यद्यपि अज्ञानम् आवृतिश्च एते विक्षेपात् प्राक् एड एव प्रसिद्ध्यतः अथापि यद्यपि अथापि has become यद्यप्यथापि an अवस्थे अथापि ते अवस्थे. Okay, after यद्यपि you can add विचार्यमाणे. यद्यपि can add विचार्यमाणे अथापि ते अवस्थे विक्षेपस्य एव आत्मनः न विक्षेपस्य एव आत्मनः न. So first it is accepted. What is accepted? Ajnana and Avarana do exist even before Chidabhasa comes into existence. Agreed. And yet it will be proved that they belong to whom? Chidabhasa. How will be seen afterward? Yadyapi, even though this is the fact, what is that? Ajnanam avrutischa eti. These two, ignorance of Atma and avarana, avriti, veiling of Atma, these two, vikshepat prag eva prasidhyataha. Prasidhyata means that they exist even before vikshepa comes into existence. What is vikshepa here? Chidabhasa, dehadvayayuta Chidabhasa. Keep that definition in the earlier stanza. So, vikshepat prag eva. Only prasidhyataha means they come into existence. How do you say Ajnana and Avarana exist before the Chidabhasa comes into existence? Ajnana Avarana belong to whom? Prakriti. They belong to Prakriti. Prakriti is there even before your body has come into existence. So therefore, though they belong to they are existing even before the Chidabhasa, that is Dehadvayayuta Chidabhasa comes into existence. Even then, if you properly inquire, vicharyamane, if inquired into athapi, even then means even though they exist before the Chidabhasa comes into existence, te avasthe, those two states, what are those? Ajnana and avriti, vikshepasya eva. Vikshepasya means Chidabhasasya eva. Come on, now tell me. So you may say, only by asserting, how is it possible? Now let us say, if Ajnana and Avriti do not belong to who? Chidabhasa called Vikshepa, whom can they belong? What is the other possibility? Vikshepa and Avriti, if they don't belong to Chidabhasa, what is the other possibility of belonging to whom? Atma. Can they belong to Atma? Why not? Asanga. Kutasthaha asanga. So therefore, Ajnana and Avriti belonging to Atma, this possibility is totally ruled out. Now what is the Parishesha Nyaya? Remaining only is what? Chidabhasa. So they should necessarily belong to whom? Chidabhasa, because belonging to Asanga Atma is next to impossible. You may say that is impossible, agreed, but this is also impossible. This is not impossible. How this is possible will be seen after. Though it appears to be not possible because who? Chidabhasa has not yet come into existence. That is true. So Chidabhasa, what is the cause of Chidabhasa? Ajnana and Avarana means the effect is already inherent in what? The sprout. A tree is inherent in the sprout. The sprout is inherent in the seed. So you can't deny the total that means total existence of that. So though it is in the samskara form, that way, so Chidabhasa, though has not got the full existence, it is available in the dormant form and it is possible that will be seen afterward. So therefore it says, Kutastha Atma, it can never belong to, so therefore what is called as Parishesha Nyaya. So, remaining the only aspect that it can belong to is the Chidabhasa only. So therefore says Vikshepasya eva. Vikshepasya means the Chidabhasasya eva. We have seen that. So Dehadvaya Yuta Chidabhasa itself is Vikshepa. Therefore Vikshepasya eva. Atmanahana. Certainly not belonging to Atma. It doesn't belong to Atma. Atmana. No, it is not so. Now still the doubt cannot be attached to anyone. Can you say it cannot be attached to anyone? Why? Experienced. Ignorance and willing is what? Verily experienced. So therefore, now he says, before Vikshepa comes into existence, Ajnana, Avarana are there, and these are not born. Even by Parishesha Nyaya, how are you going to attach that? How is it possible? For that now answer is being given. So, though Vikshepa, otherwise called Chidabhasa, doesn't exist in concrete form in the stage of Ajnana and Avriti, Chidabhasa or Vikshepa is verily there in the samskara form, in an unmanifest, inherent form. It is there because it is the effect of Ajnana and Avriti. Vikshepotpattita purvam api vikshepa samskritihi asteva tadavasthatvam aviruddham tatastayoho विक्षेपोत्पत्तितः पूर्वम अपि विक्षेप संस्कृति अस्ति एव ततः तयोः तदवस्थात्वम् अविरुद्धं ततः तयोः तदवस्थात्वम् अविरुद्धं विक्षेपोत्पत्तितः पूर्वम अपि. Even before the utpatti of Vikshepa, again keep in mind, I am repeating, Vikshepa means what you have to keep in mind? Dehadvayuta Chidabhasa, keep in mind. So, Vikshepotpattitaha purvamapi, even before the Vikshepa means Dehadvayuta Chidabhasa comes into existence, this means even though Chidabhasa has not come into existence, its samskara is verily there. Vikshepa samskritihi. Samskriti, don't say samskriti means culture, etc. Samskriti is samskara. Vikshepa samskara, that means its features, that is the inherent tendencies or inherent cause of Vikshepa is verily there. Asti eva is verily there. Therefore, tataha, therefore, tayoho. Of those two, which are the cause of Vikshepa, what are those? Namely, Ajnana and Avriti. Of those two, Tadavasthatvam Aviruddham. Statement that they belong to whom? These two. Tad means stands for Vikshepa. That Ajnana and Avriti belong to Vikshepa. This statement is what? Aviruddha means cannot be contradicted. It cannot be contradicted. So Vikshepa, though not in actual existence, it is there inherently because the cause is there, and in the cause, effect is always in an unmanifest condition. So therefore, our statement that it belongs to the Vikshepa only, which is in an unmanifest form, cannot be contradicted at all. Now further still, this fellow is not ready to give up. The doubt continues. Sir, what is this? Always you should take something which is clearly available. Huh? Why you go for us? That is samskaras of the Vikshepa. You have got something readily, we can say it belongs to that readily available thing. What is readily available? Atma Brahma. Atma Brahma is readily available. Instead of attaching the Ajnana and Avarana to Atma or Brahma, why are you going to the samskara, the Vikshepa which is yet to be born? So wherever is readily available, you should go. You know that granny story? Who was searching for a needle in the street. And where did she lose it? In the bedroom. Why is she searching on the road? Bedroom, there is no light. So the needle was lost in the bedroom and she is searching on the road because there is no light there. Likewise, see, look, your Vikshepa is yet to be born. Some samskaras, etc. you are talking of, but Atma Brahma readily available or not? So therefore, Ajnana Avruti belongs to whom? Atma. Janjati nahi hai. Why not? Therefore he says, it can't be. So, if you say so, why do you stop there? You will be landing in absurdity. It will be an absurd statement. So he say what is called as Ati Prasanga will come. Ati Prasanga means absurd or rude thing, impertinent. So it will be an impertinent statement to say that. So Ajnana and Avruti belongs to who? Atma or Brahma. Why? Of course, the person can give a reasoning. You know why I say that Ajnana and Avarana belongs to who? Atma Brahma. Because Atma Brahma is the adhisthana for who? Ajnana and Avarana. Can you refute the fellow? Atma or Brahma is the adhisthana, the basis for Ajnana, the Avarana. Yes or no? Yes. And only you have to ask him, my dear sir, why stop there? Atma and Brahma is adhisthana for what? Every blessed thing. Every blessed thing, Atma and Brahma is adhisthana. Are you going to say that all blessed thing, entire creation belongs to whom? Brahma? Is it the intrinsic feature of Brahma? Then how are you belong this, attaching Ajnana and Avarana, only these to the Atma? For that also the fellow will try to give some answer. How it is wrong will be seen in course of time. Now let us see. So, that means you can't attribute the ignorance and Avruti veiling to Brahma. So, it will be an impertinent statement to say so. That is now being shown. Brahmanyaropi tatvena Brahmavaste ime iti na shankaniya sarvasam brahmanyevadhiropana ime brahmani aropitattvena brahmavaste iti na shankaniyam ime brahmani aropitattvena brahmavaste iti na shankaniyam sarvasam brahmani eva adhiropanat sarvasam brahmani eva adhiropana. Ime, these two, what are those? Ajnanavriti Ajnana and Avruti, dual becomes Ajnanavruti. That E becomes long. These two, Ajnana and Avruti. Brahmani aropitattvena brahmavaste iti na shankaniyam. One should not doubt like this, that Ajnana and Avruti, Avarna, are two avasthas, stages of who? Brahma. Why? Brahmani aropitattvena. So they are superimposed on whom? Brahma. Brahma, Atma Chaitanya Rupa Brahma is the Adhisthana, basis for Ajnana and Avriti, in the sense, without Atma Rupa Chaitanya, Brahma Adhisthana, you can't know Ajnana nor can you know Avriti. Therefore, these are the two stages of what? Of states of who? Brahma. So, Brahmani aropitatvena. That is, Brahma and Kutastha are one and the same, is it not? So therefore, for Ajnana and Avarana to know Kutastha Atma is required, with identical with who? Brahma. So therefore, Brahma is the Adhisthana for Ajnana and Avriti. Therefore, they are the two states of who? Brahma. Iti. Therefore, what? Brahmavaste, Brahmanaha avaste. Two avasthas of Brahma. Iti. This way, na shankaniyam. You should not doubt like that. Why? They can't belong to Brahma. Why not? We have shown you they are the Adhisthana for Ajnana and Avruti Brahma. If that is the case, why you stop there? Brahma is Adhisthana for not only Ajnana and Avruti, for everything. And this person is not ready to accept that rest of the things, samsara belongs to Brahma. He is not ready to accept that. These fellows are called, Ekadeshis in Vedanta. Ekadeshis in Vedanta means certain main things in Vedanta they do accept, but some they have got their own notions about that. So they are like Ekadeshi, because this person is not ready to accept that samsara belongs to whom? Brahma, because Brahma is Adhisthana for everything, but he doesn't accept the samsara as the avastha or the intrinsic feature of Brahma. But Ajnana Avruti, as that he is arguing that, for that he says, Sarvasam. Sarvasam means Sarvasam avasthanam, of all avasthas. Movement by movement experience that you undergo in whole your lifetime, Sarvasam avasthanam, Brahmani eva adhiropana. Is it not true that all avasthas, all experiences are superimposed on whom? Brahma only. So that being the case, why do you separate Ajnana and Avruti as the avasthas of Brahma? Because of Adhisthana and not the rest. You have to say all the rest. And if you say all avasthas belong to Brahma, then you have to say what? Brahma is samsari or asamsari? Samsari. That he is not ready to accept. That Brahma is asamsari, he knows. So, but these two belong there. You can't say, it will be foolish statement. So now he says, sir, look, you are unnecessarily arguing too much. Look, what I am telling is, whatever the experiences are, that means samsara comes into existence after Chidabhasa, not to Brahma. I mean, Brahma is what? Asamsari. And what about samsara experiences? All these come into existence after the Chidabhasa is born. Dehadvayatva Chidabhasa is born. And all those experiences belong to whom? Jiva, and not to Brahma. But before the Jiva, the Chidabhasa came into existence, that Ajnana and Avruti belongs to whom? Brahma. That is what I say. So that's what he was to say. He says, first what he has to say, let us see. And by same argument we will be showing that you can't accept the Ajnana and Avarana as belonging to Brahma. Will be proving that. First let us see what he has to say. Samsaryaham vibuddhoham nishokastushta ityapi jivaga uttaravastha bhanti na brahma gayadi yadi api Last word, second line yadi, last word, first line api. Yadi api, yadyapi. Aham samsari. Samsari, aham by sandhi has become samsaryaham. Aham samsari. Aham vibuddhaha. Nishokaha. Tushtaha. Iti. Uttaravasthaha. Uttaravasthaha. Jivagaha. Bhanti. Jivagaha. Bhanti. Na brahmagaha. और ब्रह्मगाहा न भांति. न ब्रह्मगाहा और ब्रह्मगाहा न भांति. So what he has to say is like this. He says, sir, yadyapi. So even though, see, all these avasthas, uttaravastha means subsequent states, avasthas. Subsequent state means what are those? Vikshepa, etc. Dehadvaya yuta chidabhasa, and all your experiences as samsari jiva. And in that samsari jiva, if you are fortunate and if you have taken to Atma Shravan, Atma Vichara, etc., and if you gain the knowledge, all those experiences of knowledge also. Therefore, Uttaravasthaha vikshepadaya means after the dehadvaya yuta chidabhasa called vikshepa comes into existence, who himself is nothing but who? Jiva. Jiva comes into existence. All those avasthas, he said, look, on the strength of experience we can say they belong to whom? Jiva and not to Brahma. That's what he says now. Even though aham samsari, I am samsari. Who does experience this? Does Jiva experience or not? Yes. Now, so Sunday Panchadashi I am attending and now I become a Jnani, aham vibuddha. So I am a Jnani. Who experiences? Jiva only. Brahma will not experience that. So Jiva. And because I have got the Atma Jnana, Nishokaha. So I am free from Shokapagama. Samsara, sorrow has gone. Who experiences? Hitherto who was a Jiva. Okay. Tushtaha. I have got what tushti, what is that tushti will come. Nirankusha tripti will be described. I am tushtaha. I have got limitless contentment. So the same earlier, Jiva only. Iti, in this way, Uttaravasthaha. These are the subsequent states. Subsequent to what? Vikshepa, Dehadvaya Yuta, Vikshepa comes into examine. The Jiva has started operating. These Jivagaha. Jivagaha means Jivashritaha. They have got their locus where? In Jiva, Samsari Jiva. Bhanti. Appear to be so. How? Anubhava Bala. On the strength of our experience. Jiva undergoes all these experiences. Brahmagaha na bhanti. They are not Brahma Ashritaha. They don't belong to Brahma. We can say this on the basis of experience. So therefore, though everything, for everything, including Ajnana and Avruti, though Brahma is Adhisthana, all these avasthas after the Jiva means Dehadvayuta Chidabhasa comes to existence, cannot be attributed to whom? Brahma. They belong to whom? Jiva, which can be verified by experience. That is what he has to say. Have you got any answer to this fellow? On the strength of the same argument, you can tell that what? Ajnana. What is his argument? Based on experience, he says, all these states belong to who? Jiva, not Brahma. Ajnana and Avarana also experienced by who? Jiva or Brahma? Jiva only. I don't know. It is not there. By experience by who? Jiva. Same logic can be given to prove that Ajnana and Avarana belongs to who? Jiva and not to Brahma. So therefore, this argument is not going to help him. On the contrary, he gets exposed now. So, that Ajnana and Avarana also are experienced as belonging to Jiva. So therefore, so that means you are saying that they belong to Brahma doesn't hold any water. Tarhyajñoham Brahma Sattva Bhane madrishtito nahi Iti purve avasthe cha Bhasete jivage khalu Tarhi aham ajñah madrishtitah Brahma sattva bhane nahi ad vidyate. Madrishtitah Brahma sattva bhane nahi vidyate. Iti purve avasthe cha. Iti purve avasthe cha. Jivage bhasete khalu. Jivage bhasete khalu. Tarhi. Tarhi means in that case. What is meant by that case? If you doubt like this, as told in the earlier stanza, that if you doubt like this, all those states after Jiva comes in exam belongs to Jiva and not the Ajnana Avarana. In that, if you doubt like that, in that case, Aham Ajnaha, I am ignorant person. Madrishtitaha, Madrishti, what you say in English, in my view. In my view here it means based on my experience. Madrishtita means Mama Anubhavena, in accordance with my experience. Mama Anubhavena, Madrishtitaha. Brahma sattva bhane nahi vidyate. These two do not exist. What is that? Brahma sattva bhane. Brahma sattvam brahmanaha. Sattvam brahmanaha bhanam. Two things. Means brahmanaha sattvam means existence of Brahma. Vidyaman sattvam means vidyamanatvam existence. Brahmanaha bhanam means swaprakashamanatvam of Brahma. Existence of Brahma and the nature of being self-evident nature of Brahma. These two things, madrishtitaha, in accordance with my experience, na vidyate, nahi vidyate. These two are not there. Now come on. So who does experience this? Jiva or Brahma? Jiva. So therefore, on the basis of your Anubhava argument, this belongs to whom? Jiva only. You see, iti, because of this reason, purve avasthe, earlier two states, that is Ajnana and Avruti. So where do they belong to? Jivage bhasete. Jivage means jivashrite. They have got their locus where in Jiva only. Bhasete means pratiyete. These two are experienced as belonging to Jiva, which is based on our experience only. So therefore, you have, perforce you have to accept that Ajnana and Avarana belong to who? That is the Chidabhasa only and not to Brahma. Now, this guy is raising another doubt. Sir, look, I don't argue simply like that. Earlier great masters also have told that Ajnana Avarana belongs to who? Brahma. Where do you stand now? I am quoting the authorities. So, earlier masters have told that Ajnana Avruti belongs to Brahma, and you are telling us that belongs to Chidabhasa. How is it possible? Are you contradicting them? Let us see. That means the point of reference differs. No doubt some masters have spoken of Ajnana and Avarana as from the standpoint of who? Brahma. But in what context they have said and in what way I am telling. I means author here. Let us see. अज्ञानस्याश्रयो ब्रह्म अज्ञानस्याश्रयो ब्रह्मेति अधिष्ठानतया जगुः जीवावस्थात्वमज्ञान अभिमानित्वादवादिशम्. See that Jivavasthatvam and Abhimanitva, you can't separate that. Just for convenience I have separated that. It should be Jivavasthatvam Abhimanitvad Avadisham. Now then add te. Te Ajnanasya Ashrayaha Brahma. Put in inverted comma. Ajnanasya Ashrayaha Brahma. Put in inverted comma. Iti Adhishtanataya Jaguhu. Add further. Kintu Aham Ajnanabhimanitva Jivastatvam Avadisham. Te means some earlier masters. No doubt they are spoken as what? Ajnana. At what level? Brahma. But remember from what standpoint they are said. I don't dispute that. Te means, so here we can take that in the text called Sankshepa Shariraka by Sarvajnatma Muni. Very interesting book. Interesting but terse. It is actually essence of Sutra Bhashya. What is Sutra Bhashya? Brahma Sutra Bhashya. Entire Brahma Sutra Bhashya, so he has composed in the verse form, about 580 or something, 500, 600 stanzas are there. Sarvajnat Muni. Topic by topic he takes and discusses. Very interesting, and that means very interesting, like Naishkar Mesidi, but it is very difficult. Anyway, so, but there, a great master like Sarvajnat Muni in Sankshepa Shariraka, etc., in such books, so they have spoken, what they have said, Ajnanasya Ashrayaha Brahma. The locus of Ajnana is what? Brahma. Yes, they have said. From what standpoint? As I told you, iti adhishtanataya jaguhu. They are stated as what? As adhisthana, as a basis. So, such basis, so it is not only for ignorance, it is for entire Jagat. That doesn't mean that it is a state of Brahma. State of Brahma means what? A state is subject to change. Brahma is not subject to change. So therefore, that means understand properly that it is something which is stored as a basis for, that is Ajnana, in the sense, without Brahma Chaitanya Rupa, Brahma, Ajnana cannot have existence. But that doesn't mean that Ajnana is a feature of Brahma. That is not what they say. They can never say that. So then, from what standpoint I say that it belongs to Jiva or Chidabhasa, this and that. Kintu, whereas, aham, me who? So me, who is the author of this text. So from this text he said, so Ajnanabhimanitva. Ajnanabhimanitvat means Ajnanasya Abhimanitvat, in the sense, because of identity with the Ajnana as what? I am ignorant. Who says this? Brahma says or Jiva says? Jiva, Chidabhasa says. From this standpoint of experience, because of identity, see, I am ignorant, what do you mean by that? It amounts to I am ignorance only. So that's what? You are identifying yourself with the ignorance. So therefore, Ajnanabhimanitvat Jivavasthatvam Avadisham. I have told Ajnana as a state of Jiva means Chidabhasa, and not from the the Atma Brahma. Means the point of reference of those masters and me differ. So from that standpoint, why do you say so? Because I have a point. Because I have to prove bondage and moksha, which do not belong to Brahma, it belongs to Jiva Chidabhasa only. So from that standpoint, I have to bring to your notice this aspect. That means, up to here, the 3 out of 7 stages, Ajnana, Avriti and Vikshepa, which constitute bondage, were elaborated. What is left out now? 4 stages. Paroksha Jnana, Aparoksha Jnana, Shokapagama, Nirankusha, Tripti. Either they lead to liberation or they are, that is liberation and the effect of liberation. That is now. So those 4 now are being now discussed as the means of either the state of liberation or means of liberation or the effect of liberation. 44 to 48. So when the Ajnana, Avriti and Vikshepa are terminated, what you get is moksha, which is described by these 4 states. Jnanadvayena nashtesmin Ajnane tatkritavrihi Nabhati nasti chetesha Vividhapi vinashyati Jnanadvayena asmin ajnane nashte Nabhati nasti cha iti esha Dvividha api tatkritavrihi Dvividha api tatkritavrihi vinashyati. When this is terminated, what is terminated? Jnanadvayena, by the 2 types of knowledge. What are those? Paroksha Jnana and Aparoksha Jnana. By these 2 types of knowledge, Asmin Ajnane Nashte. When this ignorance is destroyed, means terminated, then what happens? The Avriti, veiling effected by the Ajnana also goes, it gets terminated, gets destroyed. So then the Avriti, which manifests as how? Nabhati, Atma is not known, therefore Nasti, Atma is not there, iti esha vividha api. It is the 2-fold. What is that? Tatkrita vritihi. Tatkrita is Ajnana krita vritihi. The 2-fold avriti, affected by who? Caused by who? Ajnana. What happens? Vinashyati. Gets destroyed. Because ignorance is the cause of these 2 avaranas, 2 varieties of avarana. Ignorance gone, effect also is gone. Now the question comes, Paroksha Jnana is there, Aparoksha Jnana is there, and they terminate what are that? What avriti of? One is na asti, na bhati. Which Jnana removes which avriti? Paroksha Jnana, Aparoksha Jnana. Avriti is what? Na bhati, na asti. So, which removes what? Paroksha Jnana removes the avarana na asti. Aparoksha Jnana removes the avarana na bhati. That is now going to be told in the next stanza. We'll see. Oh, swastik padabhya paripalayana nyayena margena manicha yogamaniya shubhamastu nityam loka samasta sukhino bhavantu kale varshatu parjanya पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं शोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय